Tesla is just about to screw all of its customers, or as most loyal of them will call it, just being the best car company in the world. If you want to hear more from them, you can find them in the comment section of this video having a meltdown. State of Charge host and a Tesla owner himself, Tom Moloughney, will be here to give us the perspective from the other side, and we're gonna start right now. Welcome to E4 Electric. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything moving forward. Tesla's competition has increased in the last few years, and I am proud to be a hot new model for one of them, having my work featured in the Motor Trend's latest coverage. Check it out. My real work in front of the camera is finally paying off. Oh, you can pull my muscle. But the competition is especially heated up in the last 12 months. Tesla does no longer hold the top spot for the longest range, fastest charging speed, first electric truck on the market, first semi-truck on the market, and a few other categories, but Tesla's supercharger network is still the best in the world, and many people choose Tesla over its ever-growing competition specifically for that reason. However, it looks like that huge advantage is just about to disappear, and guess who's allowing for this to happen? Oh yes, this is all part of the master plan. Don't you see, you silly ID4 drivers? Tesla is moving forward with opening up its supercharger network to other non-Tesla EV owners, the filthy infidels like me. So let's talk about how this is going to affect existing Tesla owners and why in the world would Tesla voluntarily screw all of them like they were Elon Musk's hot young employees. Oh, you didn't hear? Funny story. You see, Elon got one of his pretty young employees pregnant while reportedly still with Grimes. Is that to replace one of his other kids who just disowned him as soon as she turned 18? Asking for a friend. You know, if he was building superchargers as fast as he's building kids, I wouldn't even be doing this story. So, you want to jump back in? If you are a current Tesla owner, you probably know that sometimes, before you can wait for your car to charge at a supercharger, you have to wait to get the spot to wait for your car to charge at the supercharger. Now, I personally haven't been to a supercharger in a while, until a couple of weeks ago when I have decided to help some Tesla owners charge out of the F-150 Lightning's frunk. That was a fun day. But guess what I saw once I got there? Besides a few dirty looks from some Tesla owners, yes, a line of several owners waiting for a free stall. Mind you, the Electrify America station across the parking lot had plenty of spots, and yes, you can charge a Tesla at an Electrify America station. You just need an adapter. The truth is that even though Tesla and Elon Musk have been bragging about how many new superchargers they have been building, they forgot to mention that they still haven't been keeping up with the number of cars they've been selling. As a matter of fact, very recently, Inside EVs have published an article pointing out that the number of Teslas per each supercharger stall has tripled from 263 cars per stall a few years ago to 711 cars per stall in the beginning of this year. So things are getting crowded, and now imagine all the people like me with all kinds of EVs having access to the same network. I mean, good for me, a guy with more charging options now, but not good for you, a guy sitting in line to charge his Tesla during a 4th of July weekend. So why in the world would Tesla allow this to happen? Well, I'll tell you in just a second, but before that, a quick reminder that this video is brought to you by CCAN. If you've been dying to get a top-of-the-line electric vehicle, here's your chance. The CCAN Action Fund is raffling a Tesla Model S or a Rivian electric truck to raise money for their work fighting climate change. To buy your raffle tickets, use the link in the description of this video. And by Energy Pal, going solar but not sure what panels to get, whether or not to get a home battery, and how much all of this is going to cost? Well, EnergyPal will do all of that for you, and you will get a $500 gift card when your installation is complete if you use the link in the description of this video. So why would Tesla screw its own customers with no care whatsoever in favor of other EV owners? Well, to make you feel a little better, they don't care about us either. You see, this is all about what Tesla is getting out of it, specifically a lot of money. And money over customers has been on brand for Elon Musk for years now. You remember that infrastructure bill that was passed and signed last year? Well, there was a few dollars set aside in that bill for the charging infrastructure. And by a few dollars, I mean 7.5 billion of them. However, the catch is that if you wanted some of that sweet Uncle Sam's money, you have to be providing charging services to all of the public rather than just your own brand's customers. So, in hopes of getting their hands on some of our taxpayer money, Tesla has decided to screw its own customers, who, by the way, paid and continue to pay for the supercharger network. Oh, and by the way, this news did not come from Tesla. Somehow it didn't come up between other more important tweets about Mars and some spelling riddles. The news came from the White House briefing room, stating that Tesla is working on the equipment to retrofit the supercharger network in the US, and those should be ready by the end of the year. Oh goody, just in time for the busy holiday travel. Alright, for more, we turn to the host of the State of Charge YouTube channel and someone who has contributed to the Tesla Supercharger network as a Tesla owner, Tom Moloughney. Alright, Tom, first of all, I'm glad you're making some time for us away from your brand new F-150 Lightning, which I'm sure you're spending a lot of time with. But let's talk about Tesla. Because, first of all, would you agree that Tesla Superchargers is one of the few things that's still left as a major advantage for Tesla, and the reason why a lot of people choose Tesla over ever-growing competition?
Yeah, I think that's a hard point to argue against, Alex. I would agree. The Supercharger network is an enormous advantage that really nobody else has.
All right, so now they're saying they're going to be opening it up so, they can get a hold of a lot of money. But do you think this is going to be for the show? Or do you think that the, EV owners like me who don't drive Teslas will actually be able to have access to, reasonable access to way more charging locations?
I wish I knew the answer. I hope it's not for show. I hope that in order to qualify for that, the funds, that it's well thought out, and it's not like you can't just add one little CCS plug and make the whole supercharger site eligible for for federal money. If there's 20 superchargers and there's one CCS plug, that really shouldn't qualify for federal funds. So it's hard to say at this point. And will they put them on all Tesla superchargers? Will they sell an adapter and let people use the superchargers with an adapter, or would that adapter even allow them to qualify? That probably wouldn't even allow them to qualify for the funds. So it's probably going to be a hard connector. But how many they put per site is really, nobody knows just yet.
All right. Now, okay, you are a Tesla owner, and how are Tesla owners supposed to feel when, this benefits them none, right? It benefits people like me. With other EVs, it certainly benefits Tesla and the richest man on earth, Elon Musk. But you guys are actually now going to have to deal with more crowded supercharger locations and longer lines. And how are Tesla owners supposed to feel about this?
So yeah, I'm sure Tesla owners are not going to be happy about this. They had the exclusive network just for their vehicles, and now it's going to be opened up. At least some percentage of it's going to be opening up. We don't know if they're going to retrofit existing stations or not. The only thing that Tesla can do is just keep installing more and more and more supercharger locations so their customers don't feel left out and they're not waiting in line for all of these other vehicles. Because don't forget, baked into the price of every Tesla, part of that money you pay for the car goes to fund supercharger network. So you've already put a down payment on using that network, and the people from the other EVs haven't. So yeah, they're, you know, Tesla has to think this through, make sure that they're not making something that's unfair for their customers.
Well, let's talk about pricing because you're right. This network was bought by people like you and me when I used to own a Tesla, and now people like with other EVs get the benefits. Let's when someone like me and someone like you arrives at the supercharger, you with a Tesla, me with another EV. How much more should I pay? How much would it be reasonable to charge me 5 times as much?
So don't forget, I'm on both sides of the fence now. I could pull up with my Lightning as well as my Tesla. So I can see it from both sides, and I would think it would be fair to charge non-Tesla EVs more. I don't know if that would be allowed under this whole agreement, because let's say they were to do that. Let's say they were to install CCS plugs at all the supercharger locations and get that federal money to install, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to install the stuff. And then they charged $1 a kilowatt hour. When the Tesla customers are paying 30 cents a kilowatt hour, that would be defeating the purpose. Almost nobody would use it. So, I think that if the government is smart, and that's a big if, when they put this stuff out to bid, in somewhere baked into the rules and regulations is going to be that the pricing has to be fair across the board. Now, I'd prefer personally if non-Tesla vehicles paid a little bit more. Like, for instance, a supercharger by me charges 36 cents a kilowatt hour. I wouldn't mind paying 45 cents a kilowatt hour to charge my non-Tesla there. I think that would be fair to me, but I don't know if that's going to be allowed.
That's right. What's fair is not always allowed. Much like my presence at Rivian Media events. But for more fairness that is allowed, don't forget to subscribe to Tom's channel. I put a link to it in the description of this video. All right, looking forward to all of your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.